Hello everyone, myself Bhavani, and today we are dealing with the book named The Law and the Lawyers, written by Mahatma Gandhi. I'm here to explain and simplify the first chapter. Let's start. The first chapter is Preparation for England. So let me brief you out what this chapter deals with. Preparation for England, that is how Gandhiji prepares himself to go to England to study there. Okay, let's start. I'll first read the sentence and then try to simplify it. I passed the matriculation exam in 1887. It then used to be held at two centres, Ahmedabad and Bombay. So Gandhiji said, here I refers to Gandhiji. So he says that he passed the matriculation exam, that is 10th standard, in the year 1887. It then used to be held at two centres, Ahmedabad and Bombay. During olden days, there used to be not exam centres in all the cities as it's now. It used to be held at only two centres, which was Ahmedabad and Bombay. The general poverty of the country naturally led Kathiawad students to prefer the nearer and cheaper center. So Kathiawad is in Gujarat. So students living in Kathiawad, they preferred the nearer and cheaper center, which was Ahmedabad, because Bombay during that time and even now is a very expensive cities. So students preferred Ahmedabad than Bombay. The poverty of my family likewise dictated me to the same choice. So even Gandhiji had done the same choice, that is going for Ahmedabad, choosing Ahmedabad as the exam center. This was my first journey from Rajkot to Ahmedabad, and that too without a companion. So here Gandhiji says that his journey from Rajkot to Ahmedabad, that his journey from his home city to Ahmedabad, he had travelled first time without any partner or companion. My eldest wanted me to pursue my studies at college after matriculation. So his elders in this family wanted him to pursue his further studies in the college. There was a college in Bhavnagar as well as in Bombay, and the former was cheaper. I decided to go there and join the Samildas College. So here there were again two choices for him to go to college, that was in Bhavnagar and Bombay, and Bhavnagar was near to him and also cheaper. As I said before, Bombay was quite expensive city, so Gandhiji preferred to go to Bhavnagar, and there he joined the college name. The college name was Samildas College. I went but found myself entirely at sea. So here he uses the idiom entirely at sea. Means when you stand in front of the sea, how the feeling you get of being lost, confused. So here Gandhiji experienced the same thing. Everything was difficult. I could not follow, let alone taking interest in the professor's lecture. So he found everything difficult, means the studies, following the lectures, and it was difficult for Gandhiji that he couldn't follow the lectures there. It was not fault of theirs. The professors in that college were regarded at first rate. So he also conveys that he was not feeling difficult there because lecturers didn't explain it properly. He mentions that lectures were top quality, means they were very good at their teaching skill, but he was inexperienced. He couldn't follow what they said. He says that first statements very top quality lectures were there, but he couldn't follow it properly. But I was so raw, I was inexperienced, I didn't know, I couldn't follow much about what they said. At the end of the first term, I returned home. So here Gandhiji did had a good experience going to the college. He found him entirely at sea. He couldn't follow. So he says that after first term he came back to college, came back to his home, he left the college. Next, we had in Mavji Dave, who was a shrived and learned Brahmin, an old friend and advisor of the family. So a person comes to their house. His name is Mavji Dave, who is kind of family friend to them, and he says that who was shrived means very strict in following rules, showing sharp power of judgment, and learned Brahmin. So he was her old friend of their family. He had kept up his connection with the family even after my father's death. He happened to visit us during my vacation. So even after his father's death, he had kept contact with their family, and he used to visit frequently during their vacations. In conversation with my mother and elder brother, he inquired about my studies. So while he was talking with his mother and elder brother, he asked about his studies. Learning that I was at Samildas College, he said. So after knowing that he had left Samildas College, he was studying there, he says that the times have changed and none of you can expect to succeed your father's God without having a proper education. Now, as this boy is still pursuing his studies, you should all look up to him to keep the Gadi. Means, he says that during his father's time is no more now. Now the expenses are increasing and you have to work hard to earn money and take care of the family. So to succeed your father's Gadi means to take place, to succeed his father's position, you should get a proper education. You cannot succeed until you get a proper education and earn more to cope up with the increasing expenses. Now this boy is still pursuing his studies. Means Gandhiji is still pursuing his studies, means he has not left that path. So he can look up to that position, means he can take his father's position, earn more and take care of the family. It will take him 4 or 5 years to get his BA degree, which will at best qualify him for 60 rupees post, not for Divanship. So he says that if he pursues BA degree, which is for 4 to 5 years of duration, then he can qualify for a post which gives him like around 60 rupees, not a Divanship. Divanship is more prestigious and high earning job during that time. So he says that he cannot go for Divanship if he continues his degree, and he can earn up to 60 rupees per month. If like my son he went in for law, it would take him still longer, by which time there would be a host of lawyers aspiring for a Divanship post. So you see, Mavji Dave, his son, is also studying law. He's studying law in England. He says that if he takes law as my son is doing, then it would take him much longer. Means studying law is much longer duration, and by the time he completes that degree, then there would be many lawyers competing for the Divanship post. I would far rather that you sent him to England. So he says that instead of studying here, which would take so much long duration, you can better send him to England. My son Keval Ram says it is very easy to become a barrister. He says that if you send him to England, then it will be very easy for him to be a barrister, means a lawyer. Barrister is nothing but pursuing law or being a lawyer from England or other foreign countries. In 3 years' time, he will return. So instead of spending so long duration and competing for this post, he can better go to England, which is becoming a barrister or lawyer there is easy. In 3 years, he can complete that degree and he can return back. Also, expenses will not exceed 4 to 5,000 rupees. So he gives clarity about the expenses living in England, that is 4 to 5,000 rupees. Think of that barrister who has just come back from the England, how stylishly he lives. He could get the Divanship for the asking. He says that, think of the barrister. Just imagine someone who studied from foreign and come back to their native like India, then they would have more privilege, like more what we can say preference compared to others, so he can live stylishly. He could get the divanship post easily because he would have more demand if he studies in England. I would strongly advise you to send Mohandas to England this very year. So he fascinates that studying law in England is very good. So I want you, the family members, he is addressing to the family members to send him to England for studying law very this year. This year he want him to go and study in England. Keval Ram has numerous friends in England. He will give notes of introduction to them, and Mohandas will have an easy time of that. So he says that even my son, his son name is Keval Ram, he is also studying there. He could help him with the notes, and he could make him feel comfortable there, and it would be easy time for Gandhiji. Joshiji, that is how we used to call the old Mavji Dave. So the Gandhiji used to call the family friend Mavji Dave as Joshiji. Turned to me with a complete assurance and asked. He turned to Gandhi with complete assurance, means with complete trust, and asked, "Would you not rather go to England and study here? Would you not rather go to England than study here?" Like he says directly, he asks him, will you not go to England or rather than studying here only in India? Nothing could have been more welcome to me. So it was more welcoming to Gandhiji that he also liked the idea of going to England and studying there. I was fighting shy of my difficult studies because of his past experience, that he could not follow the lectures at Samaldas College. It was his past experience, and so I jumped at the proposal and said that the sooner I was sent, the better. So as Joshi ji had said that becoming a barrister in England is very easy, so he had also a bitter past of not following the lecturers at the college. So he says that it would be a better option for me, and he says that as soon as I was sent, it was better for him. It was no easy business to pass examinations quickly. Could I not be sent to qualify for the medical profession? So he says that it's not an easy business to pass the exams every time. And one more question arises in his mind, that I would rather go to medical profession instead of spending so much rupees and going studying there in England. But then while he asks these questions, his brother interrupts. He comes in the middle of the conversation and says, "Father never liked it. He had you in mind when he said that we Vaishnavas should have nothing to do with the dissection of dead bodies. Father intended you for the bar." So their father never liked it. Means he never liked their family members to involve in the medical profession because it involved cutting of the dead bodies. Vaishnavas, that particular family was very orthodox, did not send their children to go to such a profession. They felt it was against their beliefs in their religion. So father was okay if he could learn law and become a lawyer. Joshi ji chimed to add one's opinion in the conversation. So he interrupts in the middle of a conversation and he says his opinion. "I'm not opposed to the medical profession as was Gandhiji." So he says that, "No, I don't believe in such things. There is no bad in going to medical profession. I'm not against it. Our Shastras are not against it. But a medical degree will not make a Diwan of you. And I want you to be a Diwan, or if possible something better." So he says that our Shastras are not against it. Means our beliefs and our religions are not against it. They never say you that not to join a medical profession, but if at all you pursue a medical degree, you will not get that prestigious job of divanship, and also you can't get I want you to be Divan. That Joshiji says that he wants Gandhiji to become a Divan. He wants to take that prestigious post or do something even more better than Divanship post. Only in that way could you take under your protecting care of your large family. So he had a very large family. To take care of the family, obviously he had to take a good earning post. So for him it was a must to have to take profession like a divanship or even better than that. The times fast changing and getting harder every day. It is the wisest thing therefore to become a barrister. So he says that as time is changing, days are getting harder every day. The standard of living is increasing. You need to earn more, have a good profession to take care of your large family. That's what he meant. And he says that if you become a barrister, that could be possible to take care of your large family. Turning to my mother, he said, "Now I must leave. Pray ponder over what I have said. When I come here next, I shall expect to hear of preparation for England. Be sure to let me know if I can assist in any way." So turning to his mother, Joshiji is conversing with Gandhiji's mother, and he says that, "Pray ponder over what I have said and think over about what I have said. Consider my suggestion and let me and next time when he visits their home, he could be hearing preparation for England." Means Gandhiji going to England, he would hear that news and ask me anything or any advices if I can help in any way. Joshiji went away and I began building castles in the air. My elder brother was greatly exercised in his mind. So Joshiji leaves and then he begins thinking, building castles in the air. This is one more idiom which means having unrealistic dreams or plans. So now Joshiji came and put a thought into Gandhiji's mind that he would go to England, study there. It's very easy to become a barrister there, and obviously very standard living. So it fascinated Gandhiji, and he keeps thinking. He starts building castles in there. He thinks about like a kind of daydreaming about pursuing law in England. So that was fascinating Gandhiji. My elder brother was greatly exercised in his mind. Means his brother started thinking about that particular thing, like sending Gandhiji to England. How was he to find the wherewithal to send me? Means how could he? There were again two questions, which is how could he arrange money to send me, because they were not that rich family to afford so much money, and was it proper to trust a young man like me to go to abroad alone? So Gandhiji was not that experienced. He's still young. Would they trust and let him go alone, that too abroad? These were the two questions arising in their mind. My mother was sorely perplexed. Means his mother was highly puzzled. She was baffled, thinking that his son would go to England and should have heard about the cultures there. So his mother was quite conservative, thinking about the thought that sending him to England. So instead of directly saying no to him, she puts one more condition. We'll see what was that condition. She did not like the idea of parting with me. Parting with me means separating with me or leaving them. So she did not like to leave Gandhiji to England. This is how she tried to put me off. So the reason she came up with was the following. Uncle, she said, is now the eldest member of the family. He should first be consulted. If he consents, we'll consider the matter. So to not to make Gandhiji to go to England, instead of saying directly, she puts off a condition, that is, there's this uncle who is the eldest member of the family. You should go him and consult him. If he agrees, then we'll see whether to send you to England or not. Let's see what happens next. My brother had another idea. He said to me, "We have a certain claim on the Porbandar estate. Mr. Lee is the administrator. He thinks highly of our family and uncle is in his good books. It is just possible that he might recommend for some state help for education in England." So now the thoughts running in his brother's mind was to arrange money for making Gandhi to go to England. So he says that we have a certain claim, means a demand or certain claim on Porbandar state, and Mr. Lee is the administrator. So Mr. Lee is kind of administrator in that state. He thinks highly of our family and uncle is in good books. In his good books means living a good life, like no hard time, a good proper life. It is just possible that he might recommend, means his uncle is in a good life, means he's in good phase of his life, so he also knows our family. He can give some recommendation to state and give kind of help for his education, like a scholarships or something in England. So he says to go to Mr. Lee and sought help for the education. I liked all this and got ready to start off for Porbandar. So all these conversation were giving some hope to Gandhiji that he can go to England, and he started off for Porbandar to meet Mr. Lee. And so he went to Porbandar to meet the uncle. There was no railway in those days. It was 5 days bullock cart journey. Have already said that I was coward, but at the moment my cowardice vanished before the desire to go to England. So he went to Porbandar to meet his uncle. There was no railway in those days, so there was no transport like railway. So 5 days he went in bullock cart. I've already said that I was coward. Means Gandhiji was coward, means very timid, like scared, we can say. At the moment his timidness or the cowardice vanished because he had that desire of going England, studying there. It was fascinating him. So this cowardness did not bother him much. I hired a bullock cart as far as Thoraji, and from Thoraji I took a camel in order to get to Porbandar a day quicker. So if he would travel in bullock cart journey, it would take much longer. So to reach there quicker, he took a camel and went to Porbandar one day earlier. This was my first camel ride. This camel ride was also his first time. I arrived